Heartbreak is something that no one wants to experience, but if you live long enough, it's almost inevitable that you will. I don't wish that on anyone, but that's just the reality of living in a broken world. Whether your heartbreak is caused by a breakup, losing a relationship, a death, or whatever, pain is pain and it hurts no matter what caused it. In this video, I'm going to share 3 things that I do to deal with a broken heart. Now, this is not a prescription for the world, but if you feel led to do anything I say, I pray you find healing. Stick around for what I say in number 3. You might be surprised.
Team Reez.
As a man in this world, society tells us to never show feelings. I've seen plenty of people say that men don't have feelings, which is just completely untrue.
What about men?
Men have no emotions or feelings, and
Everyone laughs.
The problem is, when we do show emotions, we get told we are being too emotional. And when we don't show any emotions, we get told to open up and be vulnerable. Now, this video isn't about that, but I want to set the stage for the first thing that I do and that you can do to deal with heartbreak. Number 1, feel what you need to feel. This is something that I share often with people in my life when hard times hit. If you're dealing with emotional pain, I think the worst thing you can do is suppress your emotions. Now, if you're in an environment to where you can't do that, that's a different thing. But if you just ignore your emotions, tell yourself that nothing is wrong and that you don't care and just act like nothing happened to you, I think it's going to be very hard for you to truly heal. Feeling what you need to feel goes for both men and women. If you need to cry, then cry. That doesn't make you any less of a man or person. God created all of us with emotions, not just women. If you're angry, let yourself feel angry. If you're disappointed, let yourself feel that. Let yourself feel whatever your body is feeling. But here's the thing, do not make emotionally charged decisions. Hurt people hurt other people. I personally refuse to fall into that. Feel what you need to feel, but do what you need to do. Number 2, analyze and forgive. Now, this is going to vary depending on what exactly broke your heart, but after you allow your emotions to flow, it's very important that you reintroduce logic. If you're dealing with a breakup or a lost relationship, it's important that you reflect on what happened. Think about what happened, how it happened, and why it happened. If you have more questions than answers, that's okay. Just continue to put the pieces together where you can. If you need to talk to a friend, mentor, counselor, or a therapist, please allow yourself to be vulnerable and get that help you need. Otherwise, you're going to allow your emotions to lead you into making irrational decisions. Even though I'm a natural loner and tend to be by myself all the time, I still understand the importance of community. You have to analyze what happened and learn from it. But sometimes, things really don't make sense or you can't control it. But something you can control is allowing yourself to practice forgiveness if it applies. People think forgiveness is for the other person. It's not. Forgiveness is for the offended, not the offender. Choosing unforgiveness means you are choosing to hold on to what hurt you. If you got cheated on, betrayed, had your trust broken, anything like that, until you forgive, you'll always carry that with you. Now, I'm not saying to act like it didn't happen or forget, but forgiveness is part of true healing. Whatever situation you are dealing with that broke your heart, reflect on it, even if what happened is completely outside of your control. Number 3, seek God. Now, as I said, these are 3 things that I do. I understand everyone isn't a believer, but I can only share things that have worked for me. I vividly remember being in heartbreaking situations 4 times. 3 of those involved women. Of those 3 women, I did the exact same thing with my emotional pain from the first time and the most recent time. The most recent time was actually a few days ago, believe it or not. I've only told a few people this, but the worst pain that I've ever felt in my life wasn't even anything physical. It was emotional. In my darkest, hardest moments, I always go to God. I'm not trying to sound super spiritual and holy, but that's just literally what I do. I'll tell you exactly what I did the other night when I was dealing with this. January 16th to be exact. I allowed myself to feel what I needed to feel. I watched this video right here, and after that, I just sat in silence. Then I said a prayer. I don't remember what I said, but I remember after that, I just had a complete breakdown. I can count on my hand the amount of times I've cried over the past years, but I just had an overwhelming urge to cry, and I let myself do that. I don't use the word hate unless I truly mean it, but I hate being sad. If you would have saw me the other night literally on the floor, on my knees with my hands on my face, crying like I just watched my mother die in my arms, you would clearly see the pain. I just let it out. I didn't suppress it. After some time passed, I ended up grabbing 2 of my Bibles, putting on this worship song, literally lying down on the floor and holding those Bibles on my heart, crying. It was so sad now that I'm really thinking about it. But yeah, that's what I did. I cried that whole night and listened to worship music and prayed until I felt better. I still had joy in my heart because I know even on my worst days, God is still with me and he's still good. That's where I get my hope from. Not from sex, not from drugs, not from relationships, not from sports, not from alcohol, not from anything that this world has to offer. If you put your hope in things that will fail you, you'll be miserable, and that's no way to live for anyone. So those are the 3 things that I do to deal with a broken heart. But I also want to highlight 2 very important things I think you should not do. Don't let your pain cause you to start giving your body away to people who won't even remember your name the next week. Giving away the most intimate part of yourself is only going to make things worse. You don't get over someone by getting under someone else. Some people believe in sexual healing, but that is empirically false. Another thing I want to note, and the last, please listen closely. Don't make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. Do not make temporary decisions that will cause permanent pain. Yo, if you found value in this video, please consider sharing it with a friend and giving it a like to help out my channel. If you watch until the end, you are appreciated. Keep being great. Easy.
Team Reez.
I made a feel the chemistry. Stop smashing on these girls when they come to the lifestyle. We the ones drinking the most syrup. You can see how the jury is loud. Oh, joy.